He didn't know why those words hit him so hard, but they did. My dad will like you. I believe in you. People had doubted him his whole life, teachers, neighbors, even his own family at times. But the way she said it, it felt like someone had finally placed a hand on his shoulder and whispered, "You're not alone anymore." And he had looked at her, right in those hopeful eyes, and made a promise he wasn't even sure he could keep. I won't let you down. He had no idea that this promise would pull him into the most painful test of his life, one that would either break him completely, or turn him into the man he had always wanted to be. The first time he met her, he wasn't planning on talking to anyone. He had shown up late to the evening class, hoping to slip into the back unnoticed, still wearing his work uniform with the faint smell of engine oil clinging to him. He didn't belong there. Everyone else looked polished, confident, ready for their future. He was just trying to hold on to hope, working 2 jobs while taking night courses, praying each day would be better than the last. She noticed him immediately. Not because he stood out, but because he looked like he was trying very hard not to. She smiled when he sat beside her, a soft smile that felt like warmth on a cold night. Rough day, she whispered. He nodded. He didn't have the energy to explain how his boss yelled at him again, or how his landlord raised rent, or how he was barely sleeping. But she didn't ask for details. She just whispered, "You made it. That's enough." He turned his head a little, surprised. No one had said something like that to him in years, if ever. Class went on, but he kept glancing at her. She wasn't like the others. She wasn't trying to impress anyone. She wasn't loud. She didn't brag. She took notes with this calm focus that made him feel grounded somehow. After class, she walked with him to the bus stop. "You're doing great, you know," she said. "People who keep going even when life gets heavy, they're the strongest ones." He chuckled awkwardly. "You don't even know me." "I don't have to," she replied simply. "I can feel it." It wasn't long before they started sitting together every class. She asked about his dreams. No one had asked him that in years. He told her he wanted to open a small workshop someday, a place where people trusted him, where he felt like he mattered. He said it like a joke, like a fantasy. But she looked at him like it was already real. One evening, as they walked out of the campus, she stopped suddenly and said the words that would reshape his life. "My dad will like you," she said with a small smile. "I believe in you." Her confidence broke something open in him, something fragile he didn't even know he had left. And before he could think, he replied, "I won't let you down." He meant it. God, he meant it so much it scared him. But promises don't stay gentle forever. Life tests them. And life was about to test his in ways he never saw coming. 3 weeks later, everything he had been holding together with shaking hands finally collapsed. His landlord gave him an eviction notice. His boss cut his hours. His mother fell ill 3 cities away. And the small savings he had, his lifeline, vanished into bills before he even understood what was happening. He stopped going to class. Not because he didn't want to, but because he felt ashamed. He didn't want her to see him falling apart. He didn't want to break the promise he made. She called him. Texted him. Messaged him. He left everything unanswered. One rainy evening, he was sitting outside a closed workshop, eating a cheap sandwich, trying to figure out what to do next when she showed up, soaked, shivering, but determined. "You told me you wouldn't let me down," she said breathlessly, "but how can you keep that promise if you won't even look at me?" He stared, speechless. No one had ever come for him before. She sat beside him on the wet sidewalk without hesitation. "Talk to me," she said softly. "Let me carry something with you. You don't have to be strong alone." He told her everything. The eviction. His mom. The lost hours. The fear. The shame. And she didn't interrupt. She didn't judge. She just took his trembling hand and held it tightly. "My dad always told me," she whispered, "that good men aren't the ones who never fall. They're the ones who rise again, especially when no one thinks they can. He would like you. I know he would. Something inside him broke finally, in the right way. And that night, they made a plan. She helped him find a temporary room with her cousin. She helped him apply for 2 part-time tasks at a repair center. She sat with him while he filled forms, while he called his mother, while he breathed through panic he tried so hard to hide. She didn't do the work for him. She guided him until he could stand again. 2 months later, he walked into class clean, stable, and with hope in his eyes. When she saw him, she didn't run toward him or cry. She just smiled quietly, like she already knew he'd make it back. At the end of the semester, she took him to meet her father. He shook the older man's hand with the steadiness she helped him rebuild. Her father studied him for a long moment, then said, "I've heard enough about you to know you're trying. That's all a man needs to start with." They had dinner together, simple, warm, real. Afterward, as they walked outside, she looked at him with that same gentle certainty. "See," she whispered. "He likes you." He exhaled deeply, the kind of breath that feels like freedom. "I kept my promise," he said softly. "I didn't let you down." She shook her head and slipped her hand into his. "No," she whispered. "You just finally stopped letting yourself down." And for the first time in his life, he believed, truly believed, that he was worth believing in.